Hello, hockey fans. Hey, howdy, how you doing? Drop the Gloves, episode 17, leading into what is unarguably the biggest home series the Gillette Wild have played in franchise history. We're going to discuss that tonight. As always, we are brought to you by the good folks at Underdog Nutrition. Look, Valentine's Day is like a week away, and if you want to look your best, you're probably too late. You probably should have started on some shit a while ago, to be dead honest with you. But if you want to look your best this summer, Underdog Nutrition's they're here to help you out. So what you got to do, we've been talking to you about it for months. You need to get on their Facebook page, give it a like, follow along for all the specials, the videos, the supplements, the nutrients, the vitamins, everything that they have to help you look your best come lake life living season. So it'll be here before you know it. That ice will be off the lake here in no time. Like I said, you're probably a little late for Valentine's Day. I don't know, do some sit-ups or something. But as always, I want to thank the good folks at Underdog Nutrition for their support and help with the boys. They have been taking their vitamins. They go on the road to Butte, kind of a slow start last weekend. We're going to talk about that also a little later with tonight's guest. But I cannot emphasize this enough. Friday night, Saturday night, 7:05, Spirit Hall Ice Arena. We need you. We need you. We need you to go. We need you to bring a friend. We need you to be loud. We need you to be rowdy. What is on the line is the opportunity to be the 1 seed in the Frontier Division come playoff time. I'm probably going to screw this up, but Ethan has explained it to me multiple times. So there's still a chance I'm going to mess it up. With the top seed, you get to work with the lower seed on how you want to do. The lower seeds get to host either game 1 or game 2. They get to host one of those 2 games. There can be some gentlemanship between the 2 organizations on how they kind of want to split the games up when it goes to bussing and who has the first home game, who doesn't, and there are so many scenarios and stuff that went into that. I couldn't even, I was listening, but I don't know that I was absorbing everything that I was being told. But I can tell you this, the boys 1,000% control their own destiny. Last weekend, Helena dropped a game in Great Falls, which puts us up 3 points on them right now. They actually still have an extra game to go. So let's say hypothetically they are going to win that game. That puts them a point behind us. We win the games this weekend at Spirit Hall, and we finish the season on a strong note and don't drop a game similar to what Helena did last weekend on the road. They can't catch us. It's very cool. We talked to tonight. We sit down. It's a one interview, Charlie. We sat down with the Gillette Wild all-time assist leader, all-time leading goal scorer, and all-time leading points gatherer, Declan Young. It was a really cool interview. He was one of the individuals we did earlier in the season when we had the shitty audio situation. We got the magic mic right here. So we got magic mic, and with that, I believe the audio has cleaned up a little bit. And I think in the past 3 months being around the team, Declan, whether it was more comfortable sitting across from just an old fat guy talking hockey with him, or whether he just got a little more comfortable and was just feeling a little better this far into the season, he was a lot more talkative than he was the first time. And it was about 30 minutes, and it was good. It was good conversation. As I've said and repeated multiple times, Coach Hayes is bringing in really good young men to the community that are pretty damn good hockey players. So, but Declan talks about it. Ethan talked about it in the phone calls with him. They need you. That thousand. I'll be honest. I didn't know early in the season if we were going to put 1,000 people in there at Spirit Hall, and we did. But I want 1,500. I want 1,600 people. I want the place packed, and the product is good enough. It deserves to have that place packed. So, Friday, Saturday nights, 7:05, Spirit Hall Ice Arena against Helena. Come and bring a friend. Tell them it's going to be good. It's good sports. Gillette loves good sports. Gillette loves a winner. You got a winner right now. Take advantage of it. You don't know the ebbs and flows of junior hockey. Don't rest on your laurels. We'll just go next year. You don't know. You never know what's going to happen season to season. So this is your chance to get out there and watch some really good hockey. Now, we will do the episode just the same as we've always done. I forgot to mention, we're here at Dining Room Studios. Had a little issue, little issue with the pickup tonight, so we're not going to risk it. We're just going to set up here at the house. The interview with Declan, as you'll see, it was down at Big Lost Meadery. Irish Red on point. Couldn't have been better. So, before we get to Declan, we're going to do as we always do. We will take a look back. I want to give a pat on the back to the gentleman Mike Goebel, who does Butte's play-by-play. We're very fortunate here that, actually, it depends. We're fortunate to have a guy like Kevin Geis that when the other teams, the fans, the parents, whatnot that are tuning in, Kevin does a phenomenal job on his calls for Hockey TV. The gentleman that does the games for Helena, also bang up, phenomenal job. This was my first chance to listen to Mike Goebel, and he even made a joke a couple times about how he was trying to get better and whatnot with it. He does a phenomenal job. Great to sit and listen, and good flow of the game, knows what he's talking about. It's a really good, I think they got one of the auto cameras that gets lost a little bit sometimes, but nothing you can fault them for there. So, Mike Goebel with the Butte Hockey TV. So now, let's take a look back at the Wild's weekend that was.
And we are just about ready to get underway here in Butte. Referee has already given out a warning to a couple of the skaters to hold position, and we are underway here in Butte. Westman tried to carry the puck through the faceoff, lost control of it. Puck gets thrown up like about an inch away from the ceiling, and now there's a break. There's a shot. Save made by Fanenstein, and now they're going to call it a goal. The save was made, the play was stopped, people stopped moving, but apparently the puck came out from behind Dale Fanenstein and slid over the line. Or did it? Yes, it did. And they do. Puck gets chipped ahead, and now it's going to be Westman coming in all by himself. Shot, save made by Orchard. Westman had himself a break. He tried to make a couple of moves, but Orchard was ripe to the task, and he was able to spread eagle and stop Westman. Net came off its moorings, and the faceoff will stay in the Gillette end. Shot, save made. Fanenstein was able to kick it aside. Rebound comes over to the far side boards. Puck to the blue line, held in. Good play by Fanning. And now he throws it, well, he has control of it still. Centers it, shot, score! Nate Fanning, he kept control of the puck all the way around the net. He passed up a shot because he saw number 42, Zach Slinger, sitting on right in the slot area. And he had himself the whole side of the net to fire it home, and he did. So Slinger makes it a 2-1 game now, Gillette over the Cobras. Able to get it back, but it's Gillette now with possession. 4:12 left in the period. Young gets around one man, loses the puck, he gets it back, comes out to the point, there's a shot, and a deflection and a goal. Shot came from Blake at the point, and we'll see who got that deflection. That was Dutchman that got that goal. He was the man standing right in front. That is his 4th goal on the season. And so Alex Dutchman has tied it up for Gillette with 4:06 remaining in this second period of play. Finally comes out with it. That's Norwegian that came out with it. Puck shot goes wide. Norwegian gives it out to the shot and the score. Puck come out to the point, and Kleinschmidt just took a shot toward net, and that puck went right over the shoulder of Dale Fanenstein, and he did not see it. That puck was in the back of the net before he moved. Faceoff will be to the right of Fanenstein. Gillette wins the draw. Solik goes behind the net, still has it, circles around, shoots and scores. Sky Solik took the puck, went around behind the net, kept control of it, and he circled all the way around to the slot area, and he unloaded a shot that beat Fanenstein over his glove, and that's Gillette capitalizing early, and they lead it now 5-3 with 17:46 left in this third period of play. Hounding him, and finally Kleinschmidt's able to get the puck over to the side. Now Lean will come in for Gillette. Lean brings the puck in over the line, takes a shot and scores. Tucker Lean came in over, did himself a cross step, and from about 25 feet out unloaded himself a wrist shot that beat Dale Fanenstein, and it's now 6-4. Gillette on top of the Cobras with 5 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in this third period of play. Lesnar tried to headman it to Westman, but goes too far in front of him. Westman can't get to it. We got 15 seconds, and Gillette is just pinning the puck against the boards. They just want the clock to tick. Solig has it, centers it, a centering pass, but now it's going to be picked up and held by Gillette, and that's going to do it. That's the end of tonight's game between the Gillette Wild and the Butte Cobras. Your final, it is the Gillette Wild 6, the Butte Cobras 4. I hope you've enjoyed this game. This is a well-played game by two teams. No penalties tonight, and it was up and down action, and two real good teams playing one another, and it was fun to broadcast. I hope it was fun to watch. That's going to do it from the Butte Community Ice Center. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7:05 as these two teams will square off in Game 2 of this two-game series. Once again, your final score, the Gillette Wild 6, the Butte Cobras 4. You've been watching NA3 action, Frontier Division on Hockey TV. Good night. The Gillette Wild will be in their road black with red and yellow trim, and white lettering on the uniforms. I'm always very appreciative of the people designing uniforms when they make the names so readable. So props to the uniform designer for the Gillette Wild. We are underway here in Butte. 10 minutes even to go. First period of play. We got no score between the Cobras and the Gillette Wild. Puck is picked up by Sanborn. Leaves it to a teammate, but nobody there except the Cobra. Puck gets poke checked back into the zone. Turnover out front. Lean gives it over to the side. 2 passes, a shot, and a goal. Again, it's a costly turnover right in front of the net, right in the slot area. And there were 3 people that were there for Gillette. 2 passes and a goal. And it's going to be Baker that gets the goal. Tristan Baker, with his 17th goal of the season, gives the Gillette Wild a 1-0 lead with 9:46 remaining in tonight's first period of play. Just looking to get control of the puck, can't do it. It's thrown in. Olsen had it go under his skate. Olsen gets there first. Lean goes around him. Centering pass out front, shot and score. Sanborn came in from the face-off circle, and right from behind the net, the pass came out, and Sanborn just one-timed it. It goes by Caleb Cross, and we have a 2-0 game with 4:01 remaining in this second period of play. Gillette just was putting pressure on the Cobras. That's like the second time. It's like the second time that Gillette has kept the puck in the Cobras' end for a very extended period of time. Gets thrown back in. Cobras will have to chase it down. Turnover over in the corner. Puck is picked up. There's a turnaround shot, save, and another save, a shot and a score. Now Caleb Cross, we're going to have a discussion. Caleb Cross was sitting on his haunches, waving off the goal, and now the official has given the goal to Gillette. The puck just got lost in the middle, in the blue area. Caleb Cross ended up on his rear end, and I would have to guess that there was just some chopping at the puck. Nobody blew the play dead, and the puck ended up in the net. The referees had a conference, and they determined that it was a good goal. What a great job this Gillette team does once they get in the opponent's zone. They keep the pressure on you constantly. Face-off will be to the right of Turek. Westman couldn't get it. Kleinschmidt gets the puck. There's a centering pass out front. Vic shot, save made by Turek. There's the exclamation point right there. And the puck gets thrown the length of the ice, and that's going to do it. That's the end of our game tonight. The final score here from Butte, it is the Gillette Wild 3, the Butte Cobras 1. Gillette will get 2 important points. They'll move on to next weekend where they host the Helena Bighorns for a pair of games in Gillette.
Okay, we're back. Second time with Declan Young. Declan, thanks for coming down.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll try to get the audio with it this time, so
Perfect.
It's a little easier for everyone to listen to what you're saying. So, first, before we get into kind of everything, how you ended up in Gillette and whatnot, the kind of a perfect scenario, I assume, you can tell me if I'm wrong, when you kind of make the decision, you come to Gillette, you stay at Gillette, and now you guys have worked your way into you completely control your destiny.
Yeah.
This weekend, Helena at home, like, have you thought about how everything's kind of fallen into place for this weekend, and how cool is it?
Yeah, it really has fallen into place. Like, it's kind of like the perfect situation. Like, we win these 2 games, we're #1 team in the division. So it's kind of surreal, honestly, because first year we were really bad, and now we're really good. So.
And you've taken the brunt of that. As I state every week, I'm trying to get a little bit better about hockey and kind of the strategy that goes into it. But once you showed up here and you were scoring a lot, there wasn't a lot known about you in the conference, which
Yeah.
I would assume is going to be when anyone that's good that shows up. But then everyone's like, all right, we're going to throw 2 guys at Declan, and then, let everybody else get theirs. So then you had to kind of play through that bullshit a little bit.
Yeah.
Now you have a group that's filled in where you guys have a solid hockey team, and that's opened the ice up for everybody on your top 3 lines. How much was that part frustrating getting to this, and how much more refreshing is it now that you can't just have
the top 2 or 3 people on you every time you're on the ice?
Yeah, like in the beginning when like everyone kind of like realized that, hey, this kid can score, it was a little frustrating because it kind of set me back a little bit, but I kind of just had to figure out how to play with 2 guys on me. And now since we have pretty much an entire team of kids who can score, kids who can make plays, it's really nice to have that kind of like leeway during the game to be able to do more things that I wouldn't have been able to do last year. Yeah, it's really nice. I actually really like playing with this team. It's always fun playing on a good team.
The games, I went back and watched the Butte games this afternoon. I was following along on my phone this weekend, and it was tight. And I would expect, first, there's nothing, no matter what a coach says or anything, you're going to look forward to this weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say there was a letdown, but there might not have been the Papa Mau Wow you guys have when you get Helena here.
Yeah.
So could you sense that in those games this weekend, and how do you work through that?
Yeah, it's always hard when you go from playing a team like Helena to a team like Yellowstone and then to a team like Butte. Like Helena's like one of the top teams we'll play all year until we go to like the tournament if we go, and then you go play Yellowstone, like one of the worst teams, and then to Butte, which is like medium tier. It's hard to like stay at your top level the entire time when you're playing teams that can't even keep up with you, can't like control like anything in the game, and when you're like just constantly going on like pressure, it's hard. It's easy to just kind of let down and then not try as hard.
When you guys got back into the game both times in Butte, it was not a guy grabbing the puck going end to end. It was set it up in the end, hold the puck, 3 passes, a tip, a deflection. Is that what you mean a little bit about the talent that's there with the team on you guys know, keep the puck in the zone, get an open shot and throw it at the net?
No, definitely. Like, our team can move the puck around so well, and like we know where each other is going to be. Like, doesn't matter what line we're playing on, we're always like, we know where like the team's going to be and like what people are going to do. So
is this the best hockey team that you've played on?
Oh, 100%.
Is it the camaraderie? And that's what I've asked all the guys. You guys seem, I'm sure it's no different than me at work or anybody. There's people that you're closer with than others, but the whole group seems to come together and fight for each other. And is that, can you sense that? And is that a large part about why you're doing so well?
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's obviously like a few like guys who hang out more than others, but they've known each other longer. But I feel like with anybody on the team, they can hang out with anyone and have a good time, and that really plays a lot. And like during the game, like if somebody's down, like they'll come up to you and like you're not going to be mad when they're telling you did something wrong. You'll be like, oh, maybe I should work on that, or maybe like I'll do that next time. So it's kind of a big deal.
And this, I haven't asked anybody about this. I was waiting to ask you about it. It made me, like, honestly, like sick to my stomach when it happened. And that was the Helena game. I honestly don't remember. I think it was the Friday night game where you guys had come all the way back, and then you had the 5-on-3 that turns into a 6-on-3. When you pull the goalie, you guys win the face-off. Seja gets it in the corner, and whether he hits some snow, something stupid happens. Turns it over. They throw it. That kid couldn't make that shot again if his life depended on it, and dead sticks it. And a couple of the guys I talked to talked about how he was down and sick after the game. And they talked about talking to him that's not going to define us. That's not going to set us up. Like, in that moment, is that something where you guys as a group are like, hey man, shit happens. It's a bad bounce. Get over it and move on? Yeah,
pretty much. Like the first like night and like the next day, it's like, you made a mistake, but it's fine. It's not really that big of a deal. But like now we can joke about it with them and like say, oh, maybe you shouldn't have passed it to him next time, or
you guys can
stuff like that.
You can have fun with.
And then you can joke about it and they'll laugh and we'll all laugh, and it's like not really a big deal anymore, which is good.
And that's what builds the camaraderie between the group, is the ability to kind of screw around and stuff a little bit.
I feel like hockey players, like eventually, like when you're all like a bunch of friends, you just start making fun of each other, and that's how you talk. So. And
is that the stuff that's built like on these road trips, like when you guys go?
Oh, definitely.
And you talk. I was just talking to Coach about some stuff. on the playoffs and who has the first seed and how all that works and whatnot. And he was just talking about these 8-hour bus rides and bus legs and the guys being together. Is that something that people might not know of, the friendships and stuff that are built and the memories on those trips?
Yeah. We get pretty close on the bus because we're together for 8 hours at a time just in this little confined area. And we do some things that, maybe you shouldn't be said anywhere else besides the bus.
Fine. They don't need to be said. Yeah, leave
exactly.
them on the bus.
But, it's always a fun time. It's never a bad time on the bus. So I always like bus trips.
Are you soaking it up knowing, it's you've heard it said even with the football playoffs that have gone on and like the Chiefs getting bounced, you'll never have that core group together again.
Yeah.
Like you'll never have this group of guys together again. So are you soaking that up and having fun with it now?
I am, yeah. I do realize that this is my last year of juniors and moving on to something bigger and better next year. But right now with all the guys on the team, just trying to live it up with the few, 2 month and a half, we have left max. So hopefully it'll be a good time.
That was one of the things I wanted to bring up. So is this your third full year now here in Gillette?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so you've had, 36 months that you've been down here, and you're down to the last 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Is it cool that it's come down to where it is now, and you're in the situation you're in?
Yeah, I think so. The entire time I haven't really thought about wow, I'm never gonna come back to Gillette anymore, but maybe I'll show up again sometime.
Yeah, but it's winding down that hockey career aspect of it. So how do you end up down here? Let's go back 3-4 years when you first really make the decision to go into the juniors and stuff. How do you end up in Gillette?
Well, I had a couple other offers in the USP, and I knew I didn't really want to play in that because I didn't hear of it until I was out of high school, so I didn't really want to play in that. And then I had another offer for Alexandria in Minnesota for the Blizzard, but the coach never contacted me until after I signed with Gillette. So
who's contacting you from Gillette then?
It was Shaw.
Okay, so Shaw.
Yeah, he came and watched one of our games that we played in St. Cloud, and saw me and my buddy Mason, who played the last 2 years, watched us play, and we both kind of decided, because we both had the same offer, we're like, we could play in Alec and live close to home, or we can go out to Gillette and have some new experiences. So we decided new experiences.
Has there been a time in the last 3 years where you've thought about going somewhere else, or have you enjoyed it really the whole time you've been down here?
Yeah. Last year was a little rough because we were really good, but we couldn't beat Sheridan. They were just really good. And, I did think about, maybe there's better for me in the West where it's always better hockey. But I stuck it out, came back out here again because Hayes promised a 40-win season. And I'm like, that sounds really nice. Came out here, and we're on track for it. So.
Well, and not only are you guys on track for it, I wrote her down somewhere. Yeah, you guys are at 35, so you are tied right now for most wins. I think that's right. Isn't that right?
Something
I'm
like
positive.
that, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys are tied right. So you're gonna, when the season's over, you guys will be the winningest program that the Wild have had. The winningest here.
Yeah.
So does that make it kind of worth it, where he said that and you guys were able to come back and capitalize on it?
Definitely. I wish there was more teams that were the caliber of us in Helena, but at the same time, it's fun to beat up on bad teams every once in a while.
When I talked to, I know it was your brother, and I don't remember who the other one was when I had that week. It was the week coming off of going back for Christmas and playing in the showcase and stuff, and they talked about the hockey back there and the speed and stuff like that. So just open, dead nuts honest. Can one of the teams here, you or Helena, can you guys go back and compete with them guys for the cup?
I think 100% yes. Us two are definitely one of the top teams, but we go play in the West. I feel like Granite City is definitely better than us. They're obviously going to be better than us because they have, everybody wants to play there.
Okay.
But Mason City's good. We should have beat them in the showcase. We just couldn't score. Rochester's always good. These teams that have always been good forever, I feel like we can beat them. We just need to play our game. And the problem with that, when we were in the showcase, I feel like we were all too nervous.
Okay.
And kind of like, I guess, shaking in our boots a little bit whenever we had the puck. So I feel like we had to figure out how to get that out of our system, and I feel like these games against Helena are really gonna like help us out. Like last weekend, or last time we played them, we went to overtime twice, and that's really stressful going to overtime in any game. So
you guys seemed chill. Like, was that part of being at home, or was that part of just knowing, that Friday night, the first 10 minutes of the game Friday night, I was like, oh
rough.
shit,
Yeah,
because you were in the defensive zone the whole time, and then once you guys flipped it, you flipped it on them for the whole weekend. So even going into overtime, there seemed to be more nervousness, more mishandles of the puck and stuff on their side of it. What was it with you guys that where you were kind of so calm in those situations?
I feel like once we realized that, hey, we can actually like play with these guys and beat these guys, it was like flip the switch, now we're going, now we're rolling. Like the bench was always had energy on it, like nobody was down after they had a bad shift. Like even if they were, it was like, hey, pick it up, we still had a game to play. And they were mad for 10 seconds, and then there's like, all right, let's go next shift, do better. So
how much is like what's happening in that 45 seconds to a minute when you go and when you change on a shift? Let's say you go out and let's say you have a shitty shift. Like is it let's win the next shift, let's win the next period? Like how does that, what happens typically during that 45 seconds to a minute that you're sitting on the bench?
Yeah, usually it's talking with lines, like saying what we could have done better, but whenever I play with my brother, it's always we just chirp each other, be like, that was a really bad shift from you, what are you doing? And we both give it to each other, and I feel like it makes us better, and whoever we play with, we do the same, they give it to us. So whenever that happens, be like, hey, you had a bad shot, why'd you do that? And be like, yeah, you're right, that was pretty stupid to do that. So I feel like with doing that, I feel like if we have a bad shift, we always have a good shift afterwards.
Now going back to kind of the showcase and talking about the scoring aspect of it, from within the game of hockey and like as a hockey player, is it easier to find offense? Like are you more excited about maybe losing a game 3-0 or losing a game like 9-7? Is it harder to find defense, or is it harder to find offense? Like which would you rather have to fix going into like a big series like that?
If it was something to fix, I would rather fix offense.
Okay.
Because I guess the old saying with everything is defense wins championships. So once you get defense down and like they're not scoring, you don't get it, they don't have anything going. You go down one shift, get a lucky shot, it goes in, then the floodgates open. They keep going and going because now you have the momentum. So.
And that's what I saw even back to the weekend in Butte is I can't remember if it was Kleinschmidt. Vance, one of the goals there, literally turn and throw it at the net, get a tip, and that sometimes that's when shit's not going your way, turn and throw the puck at the net.
Yeah, sometimes all you need is a lucky bounce to change the tides of a game. So when you're not getting those bounces, it's hard to figure it out, but sometimes you get lucky.
When you go back to like little Declan, and I've asked all the guys, I asked you once, we couldn't hear it, but I'm going to ask you again. What got you into the sport? Obviously, being from Minnesota, North Dakota, that area, that's where it's at. So what got you, and what is your earliest memory of hockey?
Say my earliest memory that I can vividly remember is getting my first walker, because I started playing when I was 3, and I barely remember this, but my grandpa made like a PVC pipe walker that he used my entire first year, and I could skate fine without it after the first couple weeks, but I didn't. I wanted to skate with it all around, and I remember my mom telling me that my coach used to call me the bulldozer because I would run into other kids with it. So then the year after that, it was the next year, I get on the ice, I asked my mom, I'm like, where's my walker? And she goes, nope, you can't use it your second year. I'm like, okay, and then I started skating. So.
Nice. When did you kind of, the offense aspect of it, like there's natural goal scorers, there's guys that excel on defense and whatnot. Kind of what age were you when you started scoring goals, and did you fall in love with that early, like having the puck and scoring goals?
I feel like, I don't know, it's hard to remember, but back in mites, I don't know, it was termites. I was like kind of just skating around everybody, and like the mite coach wanted to move me up, and I said no because I wanted to be with my friends still. I didn't know anybody in the older group, but I know I was skating around everyone, scoring a lot of goals. But
what was the whole time you're in Fergus Falls, what is the breakdown of the youth hockey there? Like, there is high school hockey. Okay, then is it also club, and like kind of what are you playing there from like your Bantam age up through when you decide to go into the juniors?
Yeah, so it starts with, when I played, it was termites, which is kind of like brand new skaters, then mites, which I think you have out here.
Yep, we have the mites. Those are like 6 and under, 5 and 6 year olds.
Yeah, something like that. And so it goes mites, peewees, bantams, and then high school, and then you play 2 years in each. And my second year peewee and second year bantam, we only had one team because we didn't have enough people on the team. But other than that, that was pretty much what it is. And then I play 3 years of high school. And in high school in Minnesota, it's weird. You can play, because we have JV and a varsity.
Okay.
Pretty much every team has a JV and a varsity. And you can play, 4 periods. So you can play 1 JV and then 3 varsity, or 2 and 2.
Okay. A weekend, a day, or
a day.
A day. Okay, gotcha.
It was like games were usually Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Saturdays. It was kind of like random in between because you only play 25. So,
do you have a game that sticks out from your high school time? Like, is there one that you think about that you played in that was a good time?
I'd say it'd be my sophomore year. The only playoff series that I've ever won. We beat Little Falls in double overtime by just a random slap shot from the blue line by one of our seniors that went in, and it was pretty surreal.
Is that a wild atmosphere? Like, is the playoff hockey up there pretty crazy?
Yeah, it really is. And we were in Little Falls, and they have a really rinky-dink rink and kind of really dark in there, and one of the boards is clear, and it's always extremely loud in there because they had their pep band going. It's crazy.
So that's a cool experience. Like the Minnesota high school hockey experience is something that, if you haven't been there and done it, it's something cool to check out. Now we've talked a little bit too on the Sioux games. So that is another aspect of your hockey life that you have enjoyed. Is there something from those experiences and witnessing those games that you look back on that was your favorite memory as maybe being a spectator at hockey?
Yeah, there's like a bunch of memories. I remember the first time a puck flew all the way up to our suite. That was pretty cool. But I think the most cool memory I have up there, because we always played knee hockey up there. They have like this little garbage thing in the countertops, and there's like the garbage slides in, so we use that as a net. And back in the day, they used to have players come up to the suites and kind of meet everyone. And this week it was TJ Oshie and Ryan Duncan, who's playing out in Europe, and they came up and played knee hockey with me. So
should I feel like a dick that I don't like Oshie? Like, does that? Honestly, like, I don't know why in my head. I don't know what has clicked in my head, but I have tried to change since I found out. I didn't know he was a North Dakota guy, so I'm really trying to work on it and stuff. And he is winning me over a little bit. But so you've met him.
I've met him.
Cool guy.
Played knee hockey with him. Granted, it was when I was like 6 or 7 or something like that, probably younger, but it was a long time ago. But I have a picture of it. So
yeah, but he obviously was nice to you.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
If he was a dick, that would stick in your head too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And you would know, and that would be so. The fact that he took the time and was nice to this 6-year-old boy, that he, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That has to mean there's something good and genuine there.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
then I'll try to be better. I'll give him a chance.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah, I will. I promise. Your billet family down here.
Yep.
So, how cool has it been to have the Palazaris, and they're some of my favorite people, not just in the hockey world, in the sports world, like of people my wife and I have been fortunate enough to meet and hang out with. They're awesome. How has it been kind of being a part of that family?
Yeah, they're really great. Honestly, I think if I would have lived with anyone else, I probably wouldn't have came back my second year.
Okay.
They just
Why?
made it,
like,
they
what,
just made
what
it so much better. Like, just the whole atmosphere at home, like I have a lot of freedom, but at the same time it's like almost living with like my parents at the same time. Like,
have you made Lisa mad?
I don't think so.
Okay, good job.
I don't really do anything. So
Okay.
I kind of just stay at home and play video games all the time. But
That is an aspect of the junior hockey world that maybe a lot of people don't realize how important that is. But a good billet versus a bad billet can really change the whole experience for a kid.
Yeah, definitely. Like billets kind of like the only way that junior hockey teams can function. There's no other way it would happen otherwise, because you're not going to come out, pay $8,000 to play hockey and then pay another $8,000 for an apartment or anything like that. So it's really nice to have them, and it's also really nice when they're really nice to you. So
yeah, and they're this will be their last year because Gino's taking the job, so they're leaving. So that's you're getting to wrap up with them, and it's actually, I honestly think the reason they're staying and getting to stick it out is because of you and your brother, which is really cool.
Yeah, they said, like last year, the only way they'll build it again is if I stay with them, and the only way they'll take another kid is if it's Isaac. So
okay, so then they're the ability.
Yeah, they knew my family, they knew my mom and dad really well, and they really liked them. So like, last year we don't want to chance it. So
you talk about your family. I visit with your mom and dad now at every game, and it's cool. I also had, through my youth sports and growing up, I didn't play after high school, but my mom and dad were always at my games, and they made it a priority, and they made sure we had all the stuff we needed to what we thought basketball shoes and all that bullshit that you thought you needed to be good. Your parents, I feel like it's the same way. Like, how cool is it to have had their support, not, I'm sure, financially and then emotionally, and being there? I'm guessing they've been there the whole time.
Yeah, they really have. They're really great. Like, a lot of times you'll have parents that like get on you after games, but they don't really do that. They'll be like, hey, you had a great game, good job, and if they see me or Isaac are really down, then they'll just drop it and wait till we're ready to talk. So I feel like that's one of the biggest things that really stick out to me. It's like they never push to like make me better or like make me like the best I could be. It was all from like coming from me, and they supported me the entire way.
They gave you the room to decide and grow, and you weren't pushed. And that's, I've talked to Ethan about it a couple times from his aspect of what he's recruiting and what he wants to bring in. And I'm sure back through the youth hockey and stuff, you've seen maybe some kids that just had some shithead parents.
Yeah.
And that causes, there's no good that comes from that.
No, there's not.
At any point.
No.
So,
like one of my best friends, I won't say his name, but he was pretty much all through youth hockey, he was like focused on what his dad had to say, because his dad wanted to live up to his two brothers' potentials. Like, one of them played D1 hockey, another one was like really, really smart. So he was always had his dad on his back, and like he was at every open hockey, and like during the games he'd always look up and see what his dad was doing. And when he got to high school, he kind of just decided, I'm not going to do this anymore, and he started kind of like playing the game on his own, and he started to really enjoy it. And now that I think back on it, I'm really glad that my parents kind of just let me do my own thing when it came to like playing hockey and staying with it. Like, they supported me the entire way, and like financially, and like getting me the stuff that I thought I needed, like brand new sticks that came out every year. So yeah, it's really nice to have parents that care and do stuff like that for you.
And you can see it. Like, that's, I mean, and that's the beauty of what Ethan has here is, I don't see any shithead stuff going on. So
no, there really isn't.
And I think that's helpful for when you get down to kind of our youth association level. There is some bullshit. That's what sucks about Gina and Lisa leaving. I wish we could ship a couple others off and keep those two here, but that's not for me to decide. What do you want to do when you grow up? Like, so you'll take the next step after junior hockey, wherever you end up next year, but through college and what you're going to do, like, what do you want to do career-wise? Have you decided?
Yeah, I kind of want to go down the business route, and because my dad owns his own business, and I kind of want to either do the same kind of thing as him and like start up my own business and start it from the ground, or either help him out in his business one day and see where that takes me.
So is that from watching him and the management standpoint of what he does? are there lessons that you've learned in hockey, or is there lessons you've learned watching him manage his business that you moved to hockey, and is there things that kind of go back and forth between both worlds?
Yeah. One thing I did learn is nothing is guaranteed. Like there'll always be mix-ups, there'll always be shit that happens, and it's something that you can't control, but it's how you kind of like build yourself up after it happens and what you do afterwards. Like say, let's bring it to hockey. Say you have a bad shift. If you dwell on it the rest of the game, you won't play good. But if you pick yourself up afterwards and, say, hey, I had a bad shift, figure it out from here, time to have a better shift, and you go have a good one, then that you focus on the good shifts.
Don't let shit snowball and get out of hand. Like just let the bad be bad, move on, and go on from there.
Yeah.
Do you have, looking back, I don't know if I'll do it, if I've said it before we introed or on the back, you now for the career, you have the all-time points for Gillette, assists and goals, that's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I know you take pride in that, but you are not flamboyant about it. You're not a look at me guy. I know you want to win. That's the cool part. Is there, looking back on it, is there one goal that you've scored here that, like, if your grandkids ask you about, hey, when you had that season in Gillette or your time in Gillette, is there one place or one time or one thing you've done here that sticks out the most when you think about it?
Honestly, I can't even really think of anything.
Okay.
Most of the time, like after a game, like I'll score a goal or something. I'll have to ask my brother how I scored the goal because I don't remember it.
I've watched all of last year's games and then this year, and maybe it's just because it's been a little closer to this year, but there was a goal in Sheridan when you were trying to think of how you're on the far ice from the camera, and the way it sits, I think that's the north side.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember. I think you had come in from the right side and shot it, and he blocked it, and you kind of got spun around, and then you're standing with the puck on your stick, probably 8 foot from the kid, and you have 4 foot on each side of you, and even the announcers was
and I missed it completely.
No, you made this one, and that's
I
what
remember
the guy
one.
said.
I remember one like that where I missed it completely.
Okay. Yeah, no, you stick this one, and even the announcer was like, he goes, you can't do that. Like, you can't leave him, like he said the goalie's name right there. But it was like you shot and hit the pad, and you got it back and spun around, and you could tell, like, when the goalie sat there, he was like, God damn it. Like, this isn't in. Bam, and it goes in. So that, it was cool because they're in that moment, even the guys announcing were like, oh, dude, you can't do that to the kids. So.
Well, the one that I thought of when you said that, I think it was against Great Falls. The goalie passed it right to me, and I had the
entire...
That
was this year?
It might have been last year, too.
Okay.
But I had the entire net, and I just completely missed it. And I think at the time my brother was here, because I think it was when my brother was here last year. He played a couple
for the little
games.
stint? Okay.
Yeah. And I remember looking at him afterwards, and he just started laughing at me. I'm like, dude. Yeah.
But it happens. Like, you're going to have that sometimes.
Yeah. It's rough, you get made fun of here and there for it, but at the same time, it's like, it doesn't really matter anymore.
So what are you going to try to soak up here over the next 2 months? Like, what are you going to try to take away from it here, from kind of on the ice, off the ice, and kind of what are your expectations here the next 2 months?
Yeah, I think the one thing that I'm going to really try and get down is hanging out with the guys that I've been around with for 2 or 3 years, because I probably won't see them ever again, and I've pretty much been with these guys for 3 years now, so it's gonna be kind of soaking it up with them, hanging out with them as much as possible, looking towards the end of the season, just make sure we win the rest of our games. If we win the rest of our games, we're 100% going to the playoffs no matter what, so because it's top 5 teams out of each division and the team with the best record. So if we win all of the rest of our games, we'll have the best record. So it doesn't matter if we win or lose. Nice.
So then you're in it and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Cool. Dude, I appreciate you taking some time. We probably went longer than we have with anybody. It's you were part of the group that you guys set a good example. And it's it's fun watching I don't have little ones anymore, but I enjoy after your guys' game watching you guys when you come out of the locker room and there's 20 or 30 of them little boys and girls out there. Like that's cool as hell to watch you guys interact with them and stuff. So thank you for being cool about that, because you guys don't have to be. Like that's not something you have to do.
I think that's the best part after games. You see all these little kids. They're like, "Can I have your signature? Oh, can you sign this puck? Do you have any broken sticks?" Like, I think that's really cool. I think that's one of the best things about the games. It's like all the people you bring together at the same time. So,
well, awesome, man. I appreciate it. Good luck. I will. Looking forward to seeing this weekend one more time. The girls may be driving home. Tell the people, come to Spirit Hall this weekend. How important is that 1,000 people at Spirit Hall? Like, what is that like?
It's awesome having so many people there. Like, you get the fans going after you score a goal. It's like loud as hell in there. It's awesome.
Okay, really, so it's important. We need to be there Friday and Saturday night. Everyone needs to be there.
100%
Everyone needs to be there Friday and Saturday nights. I don't care what you're doing, cancel it.
Be there, be square.
Exactly. Cool. Declan, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Can't thank Declan enough for coming down, hanging out, taking some time, and really letting me ask a lot of questions, kind of some stuff that I hadn't planned on talking to him about, but kind of how the flow of the interview went and whatnot. And he's, like I said it earlier, Declan's a great young man. He will do very well in whatever avenue he elects to choose to travel in life. And it was refreshing to hear him talk about his parents. His mom and dad are as good of not just hockey parents, they are as good of sports parents as a person would like to meet. I don't want to speak for Coach Hayes or the ownership group, but I think they enjoy having parents like the Youngs that support their kids. They're not jackasses at the game, which we have some parents in our youth association. You take a lesson. If you think your son's Billy Badass and gonna move on, and he might have all the skills and everything, but you're at the game acting like a jackwagon, the coaching staff of these junior teams sees that. The ownership groups of these junior teams see that. If you want to go and be on one of the top tier teams, they're not going to take you. You can probably go on one of the other teams that's Gillette's beating the brakes off of every weekend, and that's cool too, and go act like a jackass there, but there's something to be said about being good sports parents. So, and we have a phenomenal set of them here within the junior team. So, after this weekend, we're going to have a group of young men take off and head up to the Top Prospects Tournament. We have four guys going. We have Isaac Young, we have Brock Trebojevic, we have Sky Solig, and we have Jake Turek. They will be going to play in the NA3HL Top Prospects game. Coach Hayes is also going. He will be helping coach those guys. So they're going to play Friday. They're going to play Saturday. They're going to jump on the private jet. Probably not. They're going to drive back east somewhere. I honestly don't know where it is. I'm going to assume Minnesota, if I had to guess, because that's where all the good hockey gets played. So they tell me. So those four, after this weekend, they will head up there. The boys have another road trip still. They got to go back up to Butte. So if they are able to take care of business this weekend, they can't let their guard down, because you saw Butte was able to score and able to play with this. They're not a pushover maybe like they've been here in the last couple of years. So first things first, no looking forward. We got to take care of business this weekend. Grab a friend. Come to Spirit Hall Ice Arena. 7:05 puck drop Friday and Saturday night. The boys want you. The boys need you. create that chaotic environment and make it fun for them. They've earned and fought and proven that they deserve the opportunity to play in front of a packed house. So, hope to see you guys then. We'll see you next time.